see how much I have to twist and try to draw blood. It's possible. It's obviously possible. But it would take a tremendous amount of thrashing.
Right.
For an extended period of time. Sorry, go ahead.
It's okay. Because here's the other thing. Along with the photos of the nooses, his neck, and the body itself, which I'm going to
tell me he was in blackface, I'm hanging up right now.
No, but there is also a photo of the handwritten note that was found in his cell.
Oh, of course.
Now, the note, I haven't read yet. I'm just going by what the article is saying. I'm going to open up the picture in a second. But the note seemingly contains complaints Epstein jotted down about prison conditions, including kept me in a locked shower stall for 1 hour, sent me burnt food, and giant bugs crawling over my hands. No fun.
Yeah, the actual note probably says, help, help, I'm not killing myself.
Okay, so there's his body. Okay, so there's the neck wound. It's awfully thin for a bed sheet.
Yeah, see, that would be kind of a... I'm thinking, like, unless it was taut, like pulled as tight as you could possibly pull it. Like, I'm talking 2 machines would have to pull it. And then it could probably give you, like, a paper cut at that point.
Yeah.
From the edge, I'm sure it could do like a paper cut. But any other like sort of abrasion you would get from it would be sort of wide. It would be like a rug burn kind of. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, this looks like a wire. No, it looks like a cable. Like if you were to take like a bike lock cable, a thinner one, like maybe
you would have to do it with the very edge of the sheet. With the very edge of the sheet pulled as tight as a piece of paper. I could see that happening. But there's no way to do that and hang yourself with it. You're not getting the one sharp edge on a sheet that's twisted.
And his neck was broken in several places, including the hyoid bone located near the Adam's apple. It's literally snapped on the backside. That's sense.
That's from hanging. That always happens when you hang properly.
No, they have a picture of the noose.
When an executioner hangs you, it's supposed to break your neck. That's the humane way to do it.
Yeah. The noose is not thin enough to create the marks that's on his neck.
No. Even if it was, it would. Those marks couldn't be created unless it was as thin as a wire. As Gord said. It would be a wide, like a rubbing. Oh, God. So why do they even bother? Why do you bother with a fake autopsy at this point? Nobody gives a shit. We all know you're lying. Stop lying. Nobody cares either. Epstein, we know Epstein's not the problem. It's all the people that participated in Ramakid. So really, at this point, does anyone give a fuck whether Epstein killed himself or not? Honestly. Stop lying. No, you don't. You just want the people who were on his planes or went to his fantasy islands or whatever the fuck, you want those people brought to justice. That's what we want now. No one gives a fuck anymore whether he killed himself or didn't. So the fake autopsy, totally unnecessary. Stop lying. We know you are.
Yep.
People who are demanding an autopsy, stop lying. You don't care. You want whoever else, Prince Andrew and whoever the fuck was on those planes to get theirs. That's all you want.
That's it.
So forget it. Quit lying. Nobody cares about Epstein. I never cared about Epstein anyway. I just brought it up because it was news. I don't give a fuck.
The weird thing about the note, because I'm actually staring at the note right now. First of all, he's got horrible handwriting.
Does it say, help, help, I'm not killing myself?
Well, that's the funny thing. Everything that I said was on that I read is literally written here. The thing is they've blurred out a person's name where it says blank kept me in a locked shower stall for 1 hour. There's a name that's in there, starts with a D. They've blocked that out.
Yeah, it's nobody. Is what that blanked out word is nobody. Nobody kept me in a locked shower stall.
No. But the weird thing is you can see writing on the back side of the note, and they're not showing that.
Well, of course.
Because if there is a suicide note, it's on the backside of this, because this is literally just a list of bullshit complaints.
Yeah. And the backside of the note says, I didn't do it.
Yeah.
To whom it may concern, I did not write this. Fuck off. Nobody cares. That's part two of the lessons you're going to learn this year. Nobody cares. Stop lying, because nobody cares. Anyway, and you don't care. You're lying.
Yeah. No, I just happened to see that, so I thought that I would bring that up. In a thing of honesty, in a little thing of honesty,
sure.
I actually somewhat almost appreciated this to an extent. Charlie Rose.
Oh God.
Ex-CBS anchor who is now
nobody because he lied.
Well, people are just, there's a deposition that he flirted with his former CBS co-host Gail King, Nora O'Donnell, Brianna, whatever the fuck you pronounce her name.
That doesn't matter.
No, but there's a whole bunch of stuff about like inappropriate stuff that he had done over the last 3 decades. He had harassed an additional 27 women, according to the Post.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of stuff. He was fired from his job because of all this stuff. Gail King had sometimes referred to him as Charlie fucking Rose because he's trying to fuck everybody that moved. Sure. Now, he has come in and he admitted in the deposition that he had romantic relationships with women he worked with over the span of his 45-year career, and told lawyers that he now realizes why those relationships are inappropriate. And he says, I'm saying inappropriate because of the fact that I had relationships with people in the workplace over those 45 years, and we now come to understand and appreciate and had by then that romantic relationships or intimacies were not appropriate in the workplace, because there was a power imbalance. Basically saying, that's just, things were the way they were back then. Nobody complained.
Yes.
And he actually states that right now. He says nobody complained about it at the time. Like, I didn't know I was doing anything inappropriate because nobody complained. Nobody said anything. No one seemed to object, is what he said. Nobody seemed to object. He just did what he did. Nobody seemed to complain about anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and that's the problem. That's how you establish a pattern of behavior.
Yeah.
And guys like that will go on doing things like that if nobody complains. So the guy, I'm not justifying anything he did, but there's some truth in what he's saying.
The other funny thing,
there's things we should just know is wrong. Those are things that we should know are wrong, and maybe he did know they were wrong. Maybe about that he's lying. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. Again, did he? I mean, nothing about this is showing that he didn't rape anybody. Harassed them only in the sense that, oh, come on, baby, look at me. I'm an anchor. Of course, you want to fuck me.
Yeah.
Again, inappropriate. Absolutely, fully agree. Fully, it's inappropriate. But 70s and 80s, that's what was happening.
It was. It wasn't right, but it was happening.
That's the way it was. I don't necessarily agree with, something like this. I don't agree with him. Like, why would you lose? I mean, he's an outdated old fart who, whatever about anything, but why would you lose your job over something that, again, the allegations are pretty just, he was inappropriate 30 years ago. You don't lose your job. You don't charge a guy because he was inappropriate 30 years ago.
Well, no, it's a system, a pattern of behavior.
Of being inappropriate.
Yeah, but what we consider inappropriate now and what they considered inappropriate then are very, very different. So now you should be fired for what he did back then.
If he did it now.
Yes, but he did do it. He did it over those 30 years. He didn't do it just 30 years ago.
That's the only thing I can't seem to find is when the last sort of complaint against him was why he did this recently.
I don't think there's a time limit. I don't think you can say, okay, this is the day that it changed. So if it happened before this, it wasn't bad.
No, I don't
think there's a magical date to say, okay, this happened in the 80s, so it wasn't bad. Well, that's like saying the hepatitis in the blood thing it happened in the 80s, so it wasn't bad.
No, but it goes against the whole thing that me and you have been arguing, or that we have been advocating about, which is the fact of just because somebody did something inappropriate 30 fucking years ago doesn't mean he should lose his job for it today.
If he stopped doing it.
And that's the thing I just can't seem.
I don't think he stopped doing it. That's why you can't find that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
If it was one incident in the 80s at a party.
Yeah, which it wasn't. It was a multiple, and he openly admits it. Oh, yeah, no, of course I've been doing all this.
No, it was a couple. Really, it would be like charging Hugh Hefner right now. Okay?
Yeah.
Hugh Hefner, his whole life was inappropriate. Can you go back and punish him for it now? Really?
Yeah.
Well, no, you can't because he's dead. But but you know what I'm saying. Like, could they have? If he were still alive right now, would he be getting charged?
Oh, absolutely, he would be.
And you can't.
On the parties.
His whole life was inappropriate, and it was meant to be, and everybody loved it, and the women loved it.
Yeah. Most popular on the planet.
So, stop lying.
Yeah.
It's that simple. How many of these women... Now, women, before I get myself into too much trouble here, how many of you are lying? And I'm not saying I'm not saying things didn't happen. I know they happened. How many of you were actually upset? How many of you were actually offended at the time it happened? How many of you are just lying now?
Yeah, exactly. How many of you are trying to make your name right now, trying to get something?
Did you care? Did you really? I'm not saying like Cosby people. That's a little different. I'm saying when this guy grabbed your butt in the 80s, did you care? Did you really care? Because women
when this guy approached you and asked you out on a date.
Look at the movie.
Literally, you got to remember though, that's one of the things that's coming up with this one. He asked me out while we were working together. That's inappropriate. I want him to lose his job now because he did that 25 years ago.
It is inappropriate. Sure, again, it's inappropriate. Did you give a shit?
Because did you care at the time? No, you didn't.
That's the question now. I don't care about I'm not arguing that it's inappropriate. Yes, it's inappropriate. It's inappropriate now. It was inappropriate then. 100%. It was, sure. And did I do something 30 years ago and now I should lose my job for it? Maybe. What if I stole from the company 30 years ago, but then I was a good employee? Should I get fired for that theft? Maybe.
Should you get charged now?
Maybe. There's no statute of limitations on being an asshole. I really don't think so. But they got to turn this around a little bit and go, did you care? Did you really care? In an age where women were all dressed like Olivia Newton-John in tight T-shirts and little shorts and fucking leg warmers, and every single woman was just topless, or every movie was just topless women. Every single movie was just topless women in the 80s. Except for the PG ones, but if it wasn't super PG, it was...
still had women in garters or sexy outfits somewhere in it.
Did you really care? Were you really that uncomfortable? Or are you on a bandwagon now? If you were, my hand to God, I'm on your side. If it really made you that uncomfortable, I think my heart of hearts, some of you didn't give a shit. Some of you let it go. Some of you even found it funny. And you went home and you went to the ladies' room together and you laughed about it. You said, the dirty old man grabbed my bum. Oh, did he? Oh, that's gross. Yeah, it is gross.
Yeah.
30 years from now, I'm going to fucking get his ass fired. Really? Come on. I'm not saying it was right. If it was wrong, it was wrong. But did you care? I don't know. I think some of you didn't. I think some of you didn't care. And you're on a bandwagon now, and you're ruining men. You're not just ruining the men who did this to